10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Juggernaut.
Dire team pick.
That's right, guys, we're back again. WePlay Season 3 kicks off another day with the Southeast Asian Group Stage, Mineski against TNC. We've only got one best of one from SEA, but we've got a bunch from CIS, EU West. This one should be an absolute crack of those. We head into the draft, find out what is going on, and also welcome our co-caster, Moppax. What have these two teams been up to, man? Yeah, I've made a tragic mistake. I have...
Radiant team pick.
But Moppax, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. I was talking about this the other day to Ryu, and saying that sometimes, in my excitement, getting everything set up and everything ready, and looking up the past games of the teams,
Dire team
I sometimes forget to call my co-caster. This is the second time this has happened in my years of casting so far. Let's make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh my god, sometimes I just don't know how I survive on this planet. But TNC against Mineski. What are these two teams up to, Moppax?
Well, I'm thinking TNC's about to ban out the Night Stalker, and then Mineski are going to be really sad. But we'll see. Either way, we did get to see TNC's last game together. We were there praising AU, his drafting abilities there. They forced out that Drow pick for MVP, and ended up running themselves a PL mid to great success. And Mineski as well, the last time these two teams actually played up against each other, they had the PL themselves in the mid lane. I believe. Oh wait.
The last time.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, I think Mineski ran the PL mid up against TNC. But either way, Mineski have also been running the PL mid. I might be incorrect on that, but so it could be a hero that comes out here despite being, not exactly the most popular one for me.
Yes, you love that PL mid against Invoker and heroes like that, just to run up to you. The last time these guys met in WePlay, Mineski had Batrider, Juggernaut, Venge, Batrider, Darkseer, Shadow Shaman. And TNC had Gyrocopter, Lion, Enchantress, Lycan, and Dazzle. And it was that back and forth game where each of them were like trying to take racks with one push, and they're just like clashing into each other. A Tidal Wave would hit, the other team would win the team fight, push out of their base. And it all came down to, I think, one Roche fight where Mineski had that Batrider jump in. It was complete havoc. But this time around, no Bat. TNC did ban out as well as the OD. Well, Mineski, Invoker, Witch Doctor. That Vengeful Spirit taken out. There's the more popular support of the patch so far. It's not going to be picked up, but Juggernaut for TNC with a Viper as well. And this could go two ways. This could go safe lane Viper for Raven, go mid lane Juggernaut for Teehee. They've played that a couple of times. But more likely it's just going to be the standard Jug safe lane, Viper mid. But there's always that chance with TNC. They do something weird with their lanes.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising when it comes to TNC that you even see two cores picked up so early. I would be suspicious. Because generally they like to kind of mask their draft, maybe have a little bit of some heroes that can be moved around somewhat. And for now, I think one thing's for sure, and it seems to be the Invoker might need a little bit of help in the mid lane. That Viper, Mineski, their past I don't even know how many games. I believe it was their past 8 games or so at MDL. At least they picked either Tusk or Night Stalker every single game. There was 2 games where it didn't happen, and one was a bounty hunter, so that's already been banned out, and then the other one they actually went for like a roaming Venge style, but they obviously love the roamer. They really want that person trying to apply some pressure to the mid lane and the side lanes as well, get a little bit active. And now though they're gonna grab
Radiant
a
team pick.
Oh,
master.
hello there.
Not sure.
The last time I've seen Brew was in the off lane and just went like the Iron Talon. I think it was Mag actually. And he just went Iron Talon, Brewmaster off lane, farm jungle, and got to level 6 reasonably fast. Not entirely sure whether Brew is aiming to go in this game though. Up against Viper and Jug, you can Cyclone one of them and try and chase down the other. Always a hero that causes chaos in team
10
fights.
seconds remaining.
See how Mineski play this though.
Yeah.
5
Picking up this
seconds
early,
remaining.
it must mean generally when you're looking towards your Brewmaster, you want that Wind Spirit snagging up somebody who's extremely
Reserve
obnoxious
time.
during the middle of the fight. So I kind of like the Viper in that case where the air, and that way he can't be either just throwing out the general damage and also chucking out all those Viper strikes, all those poison attacks, understandable, or even if you get a Juggernaut before he throws off the Omni Slash too. So all the mischance should be helping out as well. Definitely an interesting pick to be picking up this early.
Especially when Chen is out there. Like, what's happened to the Chen? Both of these teams ignoring
and
it completely.
Enchantress.
Yeah, Enchantress as well. Maybe that's the reason. With Enchantress still out there, picking a Chen is going to be a little bit nasty. But Cast, obviously, on Mineski, is a pretty accomplished Chen player. Playing the Witch Doctor game, though, the way things are looking and panning out. While TNC, Disruptor is a hero they absolutely love. They love Disruptor. And against Brew Invoker, I kind of feel that it's almost too good to pass up.
Yeah, it's understandable. You just definitely want some major factor in terms of the silence. If they wanted to go for the Night Stalker themselves as well, very powerful. 3 seconds silence for daytime, yeah, maybe it's not the greatest, but obviously once that nighttime rolls around, it gets quite a bit better. But instead, it'll be the line. That's very solid as well. Brewmaster, of course, being taking time bombs every single fight. Want to get in there, hex him up. That massive total lockdown of the Lion duration. Either allowing your Juggernaut to just crit him down or even commit the Omnislash string, the Hex state is totally fine. That's what it's going to take so he doesn't get that split off. Because, man, that hero, he does not do anything without split for the first, I don't even know, 40 minutes of the game. It always feels like, I don't even know if he ever does anything without split unless you buy, like, AC
5
Vlad.
seconds remaining.
And it becomes like a aura factory, just giving these auras out to everyone.
Reserve time.
I just don't know about Brewmaster. I've seen, over the past, like, 3 months, I think, we've seen some people run it 4-roll again, some people run it off lane. Most successful, though, I think, this, in the past, like, 6 months, was No-Tail. No-Tail ran it a couple of times in the safe lane for OG. And that worked out decently for them, but obviously that was, you know, kind of their patch, and they knew what they were up to. Mineski. How's their run been recently, Moppax? Because in WePlay, they're doing pretty well.
10 seconds
But
remaining.
overall, the numbers don't seem to balance out.
No,
5
I was just
seconds
looking and
remaining.
I just noticed they were 11 and 13. I was thinking, wow, I thought Mineski was having a really great patch, and then I remembered MDL. So, I mean, that's rough, right? Like, you're not exactly tier 1 team in terms of the national stage. You've been having a great, or international stage, to say rather, but you've been having a great time in the SCA. You know, as you mentioned before, they're undefeated, I believe, in the WePlay. Coming out of this solid. Is that 8-0 so far against the other teams there? Or 6-0, sorry, in WePlay.
Yeah.
But of course they went 0-8 at MDL. And I would kind of look at their games and I was thinking, like, did they mix it up too much? Did they deviate too far from the Merlin style to meet the meta of
5
MDL? And
seconds remaining.
honestly, it didn't seem that bad. It seemed like they were still kind of playing their own game. They played a lot of Sven. Just still in the pool if they want to grab that up here, but it might get banned if that's how they're going to do their lanes. But I don't know. It's sad you can't take a single game off. I'm sure they were very disappointed in that. They would like to at least get a couple wins there.
Dire
But
team
at least in SCA, they're doing good.
There's the late Chen pick, second phase at the very end of it as well. For TNC, who's going to be their secondary support. Lion, being a 5-roll. We'll find out how well he does. And I'm guessing it's going to be AU Chen and Winter G Small Sun over on the Lion. Viper is to be that mid hero with Juggernaut on the safe lane, just being supported by the Demon Witch, while Broodmother banned out. Sam H, of course, very impressive Brood and Nature's Prophet player. Nature's Prophet is probably going to be the hero that they aim towards. Other than that, the big one, the real big one, Southeast Asia in particular, is Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain has always been this hero that Southeast Asian teams really love to dabble with and pick up very
Reserve
early on.
time.
In this draft, however, completely ignored. I'd say the majority of the time, Queen of Pain, this patch has been ignored in the first phase, but by SEA teams, numerous times banned out in the second phase or picked up in the second phase. But
Dire
neither of
team
these teams seem too intent on actually going for it, and I'm wondering now if TNC have their eyes on it for the offlane. There's the Sven you mentioned for Mineski.
Radiant team.
TNC, what's your plan, buddies? Going to be that Sam H hero.
Going up against the Sven,
What-
Master, and the Invoker.
What are the lanes for
It
Mineski?
honestly wouldn't be the worst Nyx game.
Mineski run dual lanes here. Because the Chen's in the jungle, can you bully the safe lane of Juggernaut Lion with, like, Brewmaster, Witch
10
Doctor?
seconds
Or in fact,
remaining.
can you go aggro here?
I don't know. Up against 10, like, with how powerful the Satyr is, if you just run your way over there, single creep against an aggro tri-lane, it just feels so much different than it used to be. You can just be part of any sort of a tri-lane, it feels like. Just how potent all these creeps are now. And like if a single Satyr shows up, it's just like Enchantress in that supporting role. If you try and go aggro tribe against that, it can be so risky from a roll net or a single shockwave coming out from the creeps. But you're right, I mean, if you want some heroes to do it, Witch Doctor and Lena +1 would obviously have themselves a very good time. And of course, the Stormhammer of the Sven could be even better.
You have to worry about your mana conservation though. And on that bot lane, Sam H goes for the Beastmaster instead. No Queen of Pain, no Nature's Prophet. That additional lockdown. And against Brewmaster, Sven, and Invoker.
10
These three
seconds
heroes, they
remaining.
could potentially go for BKBs, but especially against the Brew, just having
5
that
seconds
additional
remaining.
long-range initiation tool so he cannot get the split off, and having follow-up. You've got tons of follow-up from Lion, as well as Chen and Juggernaut with both damage, further stuns.
Yeah, I think that was a really excellent choice to come out here.
Prepare
Not having
for battle.
the total stun lockdown that you really require versus the Brewmaster, as well as the Invoker too. Like, you want to be kind of performing the exact same task if you can. Bring him down before he throws out his massive combination of spells, and Master was a really great pick here. Sure that they do have that extra bit of lockdown. But even with the Beastmaster, you have to think only Beastmaster and Lion. Like, if Wonder G Small Sun happens to not be in a fight, they're gonna have Roar, and that's it for.
Lion in the 5 roll as well, going to be a little bit awkward for him. But the smoke from Mineski lets them bypass that Observer Ward, get them onto a target. They see Sam H, and he's not moving. He's AFK. He's out for a drink. This poor little Beastmaster going to get sunstruck and taken out by Mineski as they claim their first blood and a ball to sweeten the deal.
30
So that
seconds
bot rune
to
definitely guaranteed for them. They might even be able to secure both bounty runes. Or the Viper is going to
someone
poke
picked
his
him.
head out, and Jules walks straight on past him. The Viper, what's the route out of here? How do you escape?
Nice
Because the
body
rest of
blocks
them, Jules is going to get in front of him, and he's blocking TV up pretty nicely. He tries to turn, but this Viper is pretty screwed. As long as Raging Potato can just land the stun into Sunstrike, bam! QQ gets himself a kill and an assist and a bounty rune, and his lane is going to be pretty awesome right now up against this Viper, because he's almost level 2 while the Viper has the TP back out to lane.
You want to start your game off?
Yeah, Mineski, just go for the stun strat. Just as many stuns as you can, then kill people.
Very unique strategy come out here. Something that TNC might want to learn.
Yeah, next game, pick more stuns. Well, AU's going to start up at the top camp, actually, towards the off lane. Trying to pick up a creep. It's a little hell there. Interesting. Is this going to be a plan to zone out the supports up top? Damage a better time, or is he going to roam mid, I wonder?
Well, once he sees that the Witch Doctor's down bottom, probably just head top. Like, Lena can't really do all that much to the creep generally early on.
Well, that's right. It is the Witch Doctor Brew dual off lane. How that works out for them if they really can bully things down. Sam H with the double bore is already shoving Raging Potato out of lane, and it is going to be a wrap towards mid with a smoke of Chen. For this Invoker, he's being slowed down, and QQ, you're pretty screwed, mate. No Wex, no Ghost Walk, no life. They do lose one.
Yeah, and look how much cover he had too. Just that ward down near the bottom. One as well on his own mid lane. Not expecting that one to come out, but the early 10 ganks, it's pretty rare you'll see one come out that early with the smoke as well. So pretty sneaky play by AU, but at the same time, So it was going to be dangerous for that Invoker playing that far deep up against the Viper. And I don't know why I was expecting something like a Night Stalker or something that could help maybe come in and do something with that lane. But with a Viper, it's always so risky to even attempt those kind of plays anyway. It's not like Prophet in terms of like getting the kill and getting out. Viper, you just tank so much damage. A single rotation can often just clear the double kill anyway.
Short-sighted of you.
A couple of times where Invoker against Viper in like a 1v1 vacuum, Invoker does have room to like outplay the Viper and win the lane. Seen quite a few times Invoker like get the kill and then die straight after while diving a tower and actually start to dominate the lane with the Forward Spirits. It comes down to individual play more than just straight 1v1 matchup. Rotations in, you're looking at both Witch Doctor and Lina. Neither hero particularly good at roaming. Cast is going to scout out the Chen. Him in the Radiant jungle. I don't know if together their forces combined, if they can kill off this Viper, but we'll see. With the double stuns, maybe they can set up for this one as Radiant Potato walks himself in. The cast is there. Not going to land that combo. The Sunstrike misses. Cold Snap, it's a lot of damage onto Teehee, but it's not enough. And Raging Potato got to bail himself away from this one because Winter G Small Sun in with the Hex. Now with the two-man Earth Spike doesn't catch the Invoker. Viper didn't have enough HP to turn and fight though. 3-man movement mid. Look at it. Just Lina, Witch Doctor, Invoker. Let's try lane mid, lads.
While they're gone, of course, it's going to be giving a humongous advantage of Sam H off. Having the boards out here instead of harass down Jules. Making sure he get himself a little bit of farm. And in the bottom lane, it shouldn't be all too different, obviously. Just going to be the Juggernaut versus the Brewmaster. There's not all that much Lion can really do to him in the first place. So Jesse should be having a pretty good time in terms of levels down here, and that's what it really matters.
Needs his level 6. Sitting at level 4. Oh, what is this line doing? Mana drain level 1 onto the Invoker. Just give me your mana. Take it all. They're actually going to smoke up here as well. AU with no mana left, so he doesn't have that nuke out of the Chen, but he does have the best combination of creeps. Oh. Dark Troll into Centaur. Oh, the Centaur gets spotted. Smoke breaks, and I think QQ knows what's going on. No, he
just saw them.
Does he?
Yeah, he saw them. Just a moment when they walked there, those creeps showed up on his
Glimmer.
Stand bot.
Barely caught sight of them as they walked across, so they move to top. I think they know. Scouted out, they could kill Lina and Sven. To get this right, because with Sam H here, they're just going to go straight for the Lina, the easier kill. Sam H will launch out the Wild Axes. They actually get the Impale down to Sven as well, but they'll just use up all the stuns and control, securing that kill onto the Lina. And TNC, they're kind of grasping all this map. Where does it get them though? Teehee still needs to build into that mech. And the Viper push really comes into... Actually, what do you think? We've, like the precedent is kind of set with Viper. If there's a Chen in the game to not go mech, do you think Teehee goes like a Midas here?
I don't know. See, I was kind of thinking that on the same wavelength the last time I was watching one of these games, and the Viper actually still went for it. Went and got himself the mech. Oh, can I get Jules?
Killed the Centaur. Kill that Centaur with a Storm Hammer. The secondary stun.
I think it's just one of those heroes that it's so valuable on him. Obviously, a lot of your damage every single game does come from the corrosives, so the more HP that you're gaining throughout every single fight, it's going to be adding more damage onto your opponents. But I like the Midas, I like the SNY.
Oh, is Teehee going to get the kill here? Teehee! He might even survive as well. 5 seconds until Dragon Slave is up. Raging Potato still chasing this one down, but Teehee manned up. Damn sure, and he's... Oh, Lina guesses wrong. Denied out by a neutral creep. Lina came in from the rear, honestly. Came in, saw the kill attempt on the Viper. Viper just goes up the ramp and says, Invoker, good night. Good old play. Unfortunately, though, he is dead for a fair amount of time while Invoker gets back to the lane. Gets back to CSing up at top. Jules. Hex into stun. And with the Dark Troll coming in from the side, they've got the wraparound from Chen again. This Beastmaster aggressive tri lane, which is honestly what it's turned out to be, is putting so much pressure on this Sven that he just cannot farm.
Yeah, this is great for Winter G too, because we know that he's kind of this 5th role, and just because of how much RAM you are able to get up on the Chen, but he's already up to his brown boots, he's been buying up the wards, so maybe whatever item we'll pick up here by AU, if it will be the mechanism, he is sitting on the ring and arcane boots. He's gonna rush this. It will be that buffer. But either way, it is going to help him get towards some sort of farm and maybe have a decent Blink Dagger. Not the earliest, but also not the latest 5 roll. Yeah.
being trapped, but he does get away from the LSA. The DD rune on this Lina with a deafening blast in as well should secure the kill. G Smallson not here in time, but they will get the counter here onto the Lina. Enough damage out. The trouble is Chen is kind of trapped with all this damage coming out. QQ with the alacrity, he claps them up, but again, Mineski, strength in numbers. The two supports both pairing up to come and save this Invoker mid from the big old gank.
Oh, there you go, guys. That's your witch doctor. That's in the cast. Creep, so the reason why it happens. 5 seconds stun. The effect of it right there. That was everything the witch doctor provides right now is just so good. You know, he has that little bit of sustain that we're missing from a couple of people these days. Basically just dazzling him. Sven, you know, they're gonna kill him at Beastmaster, he's level 6, no big deal. And he has tranquil boots. Player.
Quite often we just see the brown boots into Necrovoke as quickly as you can. Taking a look down bot lane though, the one lane we really haven't paid attention to because the Chen has been roaming to all the other lanes. Juggernaut is doing decently down here, 44 and 3. Lacking on the denies though. You know, you kind of expect in a 1v1 lane the Juggernaut to come out on top, but with level 2 Drunken Haze.
Radiant's top tower
I never thought
is
I'd
under attack.
say that, but at level 6, Jesse Vash has level 2 Drunken Haze. Being a Juggernaut, living that life is not fun. Having that mischance on you when you're trying to last it and deny creeps is honestly awful to try and handle. So Jesse Vash has, you know, got himself level 7. The kill attempts have not been there from Raven just because he cannot do it. Cannot get the hits in required to kill Brewmaster. Actually take him out. The lofty 1000 HP points he has.
I mean, Jesse even went for arcane boots. This is exactly the most common thing at Brewmaster. So many times they struggle for farm just to get ground boots in the Blink Dagger, but he can have the arcane to help him keep up this Drunken Haze as well.
Can they kill him?
Here with that Ninja's rune.
Oh, is this gonna work? Holy shit, the nuke damage is good enough. I thought they'd struggle there, but good old test of faith. Big old nuke coming out. Level 4 spin helps out a decent amount as well, and they'll push into the tier 1. Good healing ward down. Chen creeps up, shouldn't be too much of an issue, so 9 minutes, first tier 1 drops. The question is, do they push into tier 2? Because creeps to do it, they've got the momentum. And Mineski, do they have a way to TP down and push this? Lina doesn't have a TP.
And you definitely want to force some sort of rotation, but I guess they're not going to. Well, he'll send the creeps now. I guess they're a little bit fearful because what if he does get that split off? Then suddenly you're gonna have plenty of time for rotation to come in. You know, throw away what advantage you gained from all of this. So I can understand being a little hesitant. Instead of creep wave, they can, or rather the creep army, I should say, kill nearby and Raven, let him farm up that wave. And meanwhile, all that pressure's on this mid lane for T.
Oh, for sure. Got that circlet before finishing his treads, and I kind of thought he was going to go for the drums, but we'll see what he ends up doing with that. He's already gone relatively stats heavy with Aquila Wand as treads. Drums into S and Y, Bracer into a Midas wouldn't be unheard of here for Teehee's Viper. Q, what are we up to? Midas is done. He's going to have that 10-minute Midas on the Invoker. Not an awful timing, not an amazing timing, kind of just okay, satisfactory. You know, 8 to 12 minutes is kind of in that window of, I've got it. This is fine. This is all working out fine. Nothing's burning down. Nothing's on fire. It's just kind of okay.
You'll never complain if you get it earlier, but it's definitely not the worst timing.
I mean, in my
with all
pubs,
the changes to goal.
in my pubs, I get Invokers still trying to buy a Midas at 20 minutes. Like, they're running around 20 minutes in with brown boots, 1600 gold. And just like, well, are you going Midas? Yep, of course you are. Sometimes you just got the range. Sometimes you have to go for the treads, for the arcanes, whatever it is. With the roar onto Raging Potato, though, it's going to be a sweet kill on the Lina. Easy little pick. Anti-rune.
What a weird
troubles. Why are there 4 heroes at the top from the Radiant?
See, he TP'd to the tower and then walked down. I don't know. I'm not sure if they were reading the fact that the gank was set up over here, because they were right, it was. By the time they made that rotation, it was a little bit too late, though.
He gets the Gloves of Haste. Look like it's going to be that Midas, and all they want to dive up on top. Grouped a couple up here. Raging Potato and Jules, they were waiting by the trees. Sure, they're not going to get spotted out, but it's a smoke to go back towards mid. This kind of cyclical play, right? where initially they, ganked top, then they ganked mid, then they smoked mid, and then they moved top. They found QQ. The Invoker is caught. The Courier might get done as well, but it's the Finger of Death into Nuke. Out from the Chen. Secure the kill while Teehee. Yeah, you get that illusion. Yeah, kill him. Viper Strike bastard. Kill.
Oh, there, guys. I did it.
I baited an ultimate. I'm worthy.
We're
Worthy.
down.
Oh, get a good obs. Watching for the movement of the Sven, because as soon as he gets his helm, oh, he's got his helm. So this moment exactly,
Raging potato.
he's going to be moving himself.
Army, man.
Oh man, disgusting. Clap stun Nuke.
Even as the Golem stunned now as well.
Jules doesn't have any mana here. Stole out one of these creeps. They got stolen straight on back, and Jules is being trapped in an army. The zoo is surrounding him. Gets the Stormhammer onto AU, and in comes the Sunstrike. Well played and well timed by Mineski. Will take a dominating streak away from the Chen and puts it on the back of the Brew. Right now is 250 gold away from Blink.
Is under attack.
I was actually gonna say, like, this rotation might even be worth it for the side TNC. Pressure they're getting on the mid as well as the bottom lane, but now the fact that the kill actually went over to the Brewmaster's pretty bad. Like, that Blink Dagger's gonna come out quite a bit sooner than it would have. They probably would have had to already even be down. See, maybe he won't have it here if they do come for any sort of a defense. This is really scary to try and TP 4 other heroes into against a Brewmaster though, because just how delayed you're gonna be before you're all synced up. So it's gonna go down.
Damage has a roar here, and they're going to set up to try and defend. One TP comes through from the Chen. He doesn't. He have an army? He does. He has an army mid. He can bring this into him if he wants to.
Dire's middle tower.
Do so with the Hawk giving vision. Start things off with a boulder toss. just annoying Jules. Chen showing what he's capable of. But there's the Midas for your Viper and a Blink for the Brewmaster. Items are coming through pretty right now for both of these teams. Still a scary factor that the Juggernaut has been completely free farming. The Sven has been shut out a fair amount. Invoker has been ganked up. Trade-off for Mineski obviously is that the Brew did get this Blink Dagger by 13 minutes. So that maybe balances out what the Juggernaut's been up to, but net worth-wise, how are we actually looking? The Chen. Does the Chen equal with the Brewmaster right now in terms of net worth? What's he up to? He's got Mech Arcanes.
Making his way up to that Invoker. Just go down in terms of raw net worth. He's got himself 6 kills so far this game, plus 2 assists to boot.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're ready to roll. They got this mechanism. Time to go.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Sven creep up here. Run around being a nuisance.
Little purge creep. Oh yeah, what's the cool? It's 5-second duration on a 3-second cooldown. Have you seen the? Have you seen the YouTube? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's seen that video by now. The cancerous little purge creep going in and just killing people. Annoying crap in the world. Double Forge Spirit at least for the Invoker as he hits level 10. These out and start pushing a little harder. He's got the drums. I've liked this a lot from Invoker recently. Not going Brown Boots Midas Yule Scepter. Instead going for a more balanced, and it feels a lot consistent build with the drums. Then you go back to like BOTs, your Blink Dagger into Aghanim Scepter, and it's just a more natural build-up than going Brown Boots, which gives you just movement speed obviously, then into Midas, which is, your kind of acceleration item to get yourself into the levels and gold a little bit faster, and then Yule's is just a straight up I'm gonna go kill shit item with the combo plays. But TNC, the contest, the big plays, the 3-man stun into Chen combo. Oh my goodness, Mineski didn't know what hit them. The late primal split comes out, and Jules is cleaving through them all. He needs to be healed up. A cycle of the Juggernaut will keep him out of the fight for now, and they take it out with the little Brewlings. But Jules is still dropping. Beastmaster, they need more damage. Jules heals himself back up. He's got the life steal, and he's not dropping. Just get the Warcry back up. He turns the fight against Raven. They've got the damage, but the Omni Slash comes through. He's missing every single freaking attack. And another miss, and another miss, and Raven has to run. Jesse Bash. Jesse Bash keeping tabs on Raven. Oh, that Drunken Haze before the Omni Slash came through. Mineski, they looked like they were down and out, but Jules with their cleaves. Whew.
I actually don't understand how they had any chance in that fight, and now they can even head right back into Roshan with the Witch Doctor back, full mana and arcanes.
Didn't have Omni Slash. It was cool. It was like 13 seconds until it was cooling down when Juggernaut entered the fight. That was the big deal there.
They're a little bit worried to go in there, and well, they would be correct here.
Well, no ultis for any of the Radiant team. Well, they've got God Strength and Laguna Blade over on Mineski, and this is something that they can really utilize to their advantage. Find someone over on the side.
So hard versus the Hawk. It's true. Neither team really having a blink initiation for a moment here. Well, I shouldn't say neither team, but the more important one being TNC. So to head into there, they don't have to worry about them actually able to capitalize on the Hawk.
Oh, Sam H is dead. I really like Sam. Yeah, Sam H is dead. I really want to pay attention. There's two gladiators battling out. I don't know if you noticed, not Pax, but there was a Satyr from Sven and a Wildwing from Chen. Just literally for 30 seconds, standing there hitting each other over and over again. They're just punching each other. The
I like how that
Wildwing.
happens in the pit. Creeps there trying to scout it out, and so you get a little micro war going on.
In the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Colosseum. Oh. Well, Roshan looks like it's going to be Mineski's on the career. Still for Jules.
It was SNY, yeah, who just delivered.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Easy Aegis, or is it going to be? Like TNC, they want to get themselves into this pit. They've got to do it fast. Primal split. Very early here from Jesse Vash, scouting out TNC, and they know Roshan is going to be there. Mineski will come on the Sven. TNC, they've got to decide, do we fight, do we flee, do we run, do we hide? It's like it's going to be that. Get the hell out of this situation because Jules is chasing him down. AU will be the first one to get caught. Probably just going to be straight up done with a Sunstrike. Dragon Slave is gone and done for with the Omni Slash through onto Cast Raven. He targeted down 3 people. He cannot withstand this damage. The Death Ward from Cast will secure the kill on both Juggernaut and maybe even the Beastmaster. Lena's pushed the high ground and the Switch Doctor cannot sustain through Sam H's damage. So QQ will just man up, take him out with a Deafening Blast over on the side. It looks like the fight continues. Jules is cleaved down a couple. A double kill for him as Teehee is his next port of call. The Viper, even with your corrosive skin, the Sunstrike will rain down from the sky. And Mineski, wipe out TNC.
And Yules, he doesn't even have
under attack.
Yules. He doesn't have any of these like over Magi's or anything like that to buff up any of his attacks. He has no buffs on top of him. Only the Alacrity that he can even possibly look towards right now, but he's just standing up on everybody. Gets the Hammer thrown up there, and then those max points into the cleave, obviously. Even with just the SNY, I think it's very surprising how much damage you're able to get out of your Sven. Well, Alacrity, and you're like, okay, now I'm seeing time coming out of that Roshan pit. What an early split just to guarantee that Roshan from Jess. Like a little bit unorthodox in terms of the play, but it worked out. He found that Viper off in the jungle, tossed him up in the air, to help zone out the rest of the supporting cast from TNC from even heading into the pit. And so once that was guaranteed, they were totally on the run.
So is Brewmaster the counter to Juggernaut now? Brewmaster the counter to Sven? Is Brewmaster just the counter to all melee carries at this point? Just pick Brew. Everyone. Just pick Brewmaster. Max your drunken haze. Working out wonders for Jesse Vash here. I've got a blink on the Sven as well. Blink. Evoker triple blink actually. One available for the Evoker man. The lens on the Lena, and I guess heading into a 4-staff. Could be your Scepter for the Lena, but I really like 4-staff up against Lion, Viper, Chen, Beastmaster. All these heroes that are looking to slow you and kite you. Having that mobility is incredibly important.
With that coming out here, and well, as you said, 3 blink daggers. So, Cuckoo, I wouldn't mind seeing him head in Magnum Scepter next. Really, Boots Trial would be the most common thing, but depending on how much momentum they can gain here, it's scary to keep pushing into the Chen. But if they get the Agnum Scepter, run through all those tier 2s that are left on the map. And then after that, going back in towards the boss would help kind of continue up that map pressure, but I don't know if they'd have enough space right now for the boss to be that safe, even, up against the Master. And you have to imagine Winter G, like, they can't really tell, but he is up to 1,000 gold right now, and you know this guy's good at getting himself a decent Blink Dagger, and despite buying all those beyond the game, it should be out relatively soon.
Dire's top tower has been denied.
Teehee. It's an interesting build. Tower gets denied up at top. Yeah. So Viper hasting himself around. Just Crimson Guard here against Sven, and Primal split is okay.
Not, you know, you can kind of mix it up quite a bit when you have that Chen on your team we talked about earlier, just meaning he doesn't have the mechanism and feeling like you might want a defensive item to still take a great advantage of your corrosive skin. It is definitely a really good game to head in towards that guard there, so.
I mean, this is like the old school build. When I moved from Dota 1 to Dota 2, I got flamed for buying like Vanguard Hood on Viper and Necro. Like on Necro, that was the build. On Weaver even, in Dota 1, you would go like Vanguard, Hood, Radiance. On so many heroes, that was like the build for everyone. But you move to Dota 2 and people are like, noob, you can't build Vanguard on ranged hero, noob, what are you doing? So, see if it works out for him in this game.
Dire's bottom tower.
And then the SNY.
Just a little bit.
They're pretty deep, but they're all nearby. They have the Aegis.
King Jules just gives up first life here. Trying to get him out with a Drunken Haze, but nuke damage in the slows. Teehee actually missing a bunch of hits, and Jesse back reinitiates in with a primal split onto Sam H. What is down, the damage output is limited until the full Deafening Blast catches a couple of creeps, doesn't really land on too many heroes. It's a little bit scrappy and messy here from both teams with a Sunstrike, and now the right clicks come through. Teehee will finally drop, and Jules is still holding onto that Aegis. Another blink and potentially another stun here. Warcry himself back a little bit further. TNC scrambling though to really hold on to this tier 2.
Well, it doesn't end up anyway. At least he'll get fully regen back up. And I wonder if that's what they were waiting for, and that's why they weren't killing him. Trying to get to that last second, but it was just a little bit too long there. And now, without Teehee, not too sure about this. They're gonna need themselves a pretty good roar if they actually want to fight. They also don't have any sort of vision around the area.
Where's Raven off to? Got to find somewhere to farm. It is a Yule Scepter up for the Lina right now. They're not the 4th staff mobility I kind of look for, but it's a good way to set up for stuns and kills on Beastmaster Lion. Even the Chen really aims towards the back end of the team fights. Raven has some catch at this point. Sitting at 10k net worth, and you know, it's a reasonable amount, but when you're dealing with Mineski at this point, looking at the Sven who has a fully completed BKB within a couple of minutes, difficult to take down. Raw nuking damage, you know, Juggernaut has had difficulties just dealing with a Witch Doctor. Cast throws his Death Ward out, and the Juggernaut kind of has to run away. Unless he has Omni Slasher and ability to... Where was that something like? An ability to get himself further away from the team fight, this Jug is really struggling to stick on a target. And I think a lot of it comes down to, you know, Primal Split's an annoying spell to handle with Omni Slash. You kind of want to wait Primal Split to end. And also the fact that Mineski are grouping up as groups of 2 or 3 in these team fights. They're never splitting too far to give these solo kill potentials to the Juggernaut. And here's a solo kill for you. 3 hits, Jules picks up the Lion. So completes his BKB.
Yeah, it's going to be the go call from them here, and it will be the Agnet set for Kudo as well, so it's going to sync up very nicely. And while I was bringing this point up here, see if Raven would opt for it. So he's going to go for the Blink Dagger because of exactly what you were just talking about, the fact they're not splitting up. So looking for that, the optimal Omni Slash generally does mean that you that Blink Dagger. Try and find someone on the back line. Use the Hawk Vision that you're going to have eliminate. I would say if you get cast knocked down before the fight starts and then spin your way back into the base, that would probably be the ideal scenario. However, what it does mean is that that Blink Dagger is going to be delaying sort of an MKB or, you know, Basher or whatever else you want to go into, even if it's just the SMY, or probably the Manta would be the optimal choice here for Raven. And in some senses, if you can go for those items over the Blink Dagger, you can kind of get a leg up on the Sven, right? Because a little bit of that net worth that he invested into the Blink Dagger as opposed to actual damage items positioning right now. But...
Oh, Lion. Oh, 1500 gold. He wanted his Blink. They even get the Courier as well over on the side. That was the Crimson Guard for Teehee, actually. The Viper Crimson Guard was complete. Mineski get a 2 for there. Off the Lion, slowing down his Blink, but also killing off that Courier and getting a good amount of gold over onto the Sven. Now you're looking at Cast, the Witch Doctor with Ether Lens, a good chunk of gold, but also Invoker. Blink, Aghanim Scepter. He's got his full exort. The combos coming out of this guy are going to be super big when you're dealing with all these heroes that don't have magic immunity. You know, Viper no BKB, Beastmaster not a natural BKB buyer or carrier. Juggernaut has to rely on Blink's. Joker's going to be causing a lot of havoc in these team fights as well as that Brewmaster, and yeah, who needs yours when you have Cyclone, right? Just have to time it. Just have to time it perfectly. Oh, they keep scouting at Roshan with a Sunstrike, don't they? That's what they're looking for.
Their next go called. Now that they have the Aghanim Scepter, the big thing is the BKB on your Brewmaster, and then just. It is time to march. Yeah, they definitely want high ground on this. They don't want any tier 2s, you know. They'd love to get all 3 of them, I suppose. But I think ideal situation is that they get maybe 1 tier 2 ahead into the other lane, get the tier 2. They're trying to force high ground because they definitely have the lineup and the current lead to take 1 single Rax and then snowball right into the other one while everyone's still dead and be able to knock it down with the stun.
Taking a quick look at the graphs, initially TNC did have themselves like a 4,000 net worth lead for the first 15 minutes or so. Good rotations in from Chen and that. Mineski, after the couple of Roche fights they've had, fights down into the Radiant Jungle anyway. Found themselves with a pretty tasty 8,000, 12,000 net worth and experience lead. Shannon's respawning right now as well. Who's going to see it first? There's a Hawk up here for the Radiant, so they are the first to know Roshan's alive. Cass, he's running back and forth, not deciding whether he wants to go scout Roche or come and push. It looks like they want to take this tier 2 to secure up the towers. Here being hammered back in their base, and actually TPing back. I'm not certain this is a place you can contest. He's just farming away at Ancients. They know that they need to prep themselves to get towards the Roche pit as quickly as they can. So at this point, it's just a matter of TPing down and getting ready to pick up. But it's starting to get late. It's starting to get to the point where Mineski just wanders into the pit and takes it.
Oh, it's perfect. He has the ward and the gem too. Caught up this Hawk as well if it does end up flying back over here. And there's no way they're going to be here. This is the perfect scenario. You got 1 tower down before you even have to take the Aegis. Now you can take that Aegis into the mid lane if you'd like. And that tower, and then either rotate to the bot and push that in, or just keep going right up the mid and try and secure yourself 2 racks using this Aegis and close out this game. I don't think they want to delay this too much longer. I feel like they can sense the advantage they do have right now, and as much as Jesse Vash would love to be level 16, just having this BKB is going to make all the difference.
They did have to move up the top to deal with the Juggernaut pushing in, but Alacrity Lina should be able to handle this, no problem. Good amount of attack speed and damage there. See, they're playing about here. Necro 3's up for Sam H at long last. I think they're wandering around trying to find one of Mineski, you know, off on his own, trying to find one big item. No one here from Mineski, there's no one in their own jungle. They're all creeping up towards mid, like you said, getting ready to push into that tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Try and
attack.
consolidate this victory. Jules is like, he's the only one that could maybe even pick off, but...
Oh, my Hyperstone, guys. That's what happens every game, man. There's always someone saying, oh, I just need to set him before we go. And then your Aegis expires and you lose.
He needs his Hyperstone and a plate mail though. He's got a decent way to go. It looks like the push is just going to come top. I mean, it's longer lane to push. He's got a couple more creep waves to clear out. Can dip into the jungle if he wants to as well. Really get into that item. We're looking for the rest.
They had any sort of a smoke here. Oh man, Raging Potato. This is a little bit risky. He's going for the kill on Raven. Is he gonna be able to get this? Oh, it's gonna be so close. Last right click. Ah! The healing ward. I don't know if he's
Oh, the Sunstrike. Nope. Nope. Raven's out. 3.
Goes for the deny and the healing board to try and set up for the Sunstrike, but not enough.
Under attack.
At least the Lion has his blink now.
Radiant
Small Sun can start initiating on into people. Jules is such a tanky monster. And there's the did you say BKB? Yeah, BKB's done for the Brewmaster. He actually completed that one up. All you've got is an S and Y for Juggernaut, S and Y Battle Fury. TNC, they kind of feel like they want to split push and draw the aggro away. Mineski though, it's just going to be a bull in a china shop that's going to charge themselves into each of these lanes. Oh, who's in that behind? Oh, he's smoked up. The G Small Sun not going to get scouted out. He's actually going to try and wrap in behind Beastmaster and the Juggernaut down here. Dog does have Blink Spin TP. Master does not have the Blink though. Just going to have to rely on that natural TP away. Buying a little more time here. To get himself a bigger item. Mithril Hammer is actually picked up by him. Not sure what he's heading into exactly. Could be Maelstrom. Be a Black King Bar of his own trying to deal with these stuns coming out. Obviously, Invoker's magical damage is pretty hefty, but you've got the Laguna Blade Aghanim's upgrade done for Lina.
Yeah. somehow keeping a farm in terms of not only the farm, it's not the most important fact, it's the fact that she's somehow level 15. It's insane. I mean, I know that they've won a couple of these later engagements, but being that high leveled, even compared to, like, you can see here, Witch Dog's at level 11. Same with the two supporters on the other side, 11 and 12 for your Viper, or rather your Chen and your Lion. But yeah, we've just been split pushing. We see this all the time. It's like the solo Lena as well. See this.
Here we go. 2 minutes until Aegis is taken away from the Sven. About 1 minute 40, something like that. So it's pretty much time to breach high ground and get through a couple of thwacks. Jules is being forced back a tiny amount there by the Viper as well as this fireball from the Dragon. He's not dropping low enough. He's just tanking up, manning up against this Dragon, doesn't care. He's now finally dropped to sub 500 HP, but he throws the stun. And Viper, oh my god, how many hits does it take? Not too many. He being shredded as Jules just cleans up one and not even dying yet. He's just life stealing through it all. Jules finally drops to the next ring and after killing himself on it. But Mineski has taken tier 3 and it looks like they'll take racks. No glyph available for the Radiant TNC. It's going to be hell to pay. Without that Viper up and running, there's no one to go stand up on the high ground to just zone them all back. So Mineski moved down towards bot. They'll get another tier 3.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
And to clear this one up as well.
Middle barracks has fallen.
What does TNC have left in the bank? No Roar. They have Finger of Death. A couple of circlets here for the Lion to bring themselves into this. Blink, Omni Slash, going to catch the Witch Doctor, but it's just not enough damage. Raven, he can't do it on his own. The rest of his team is way too far behind and he's been zoned out, and Sunstruck not going to land quite just there. But QQ with a Blink Deafening Blast. Kill off the Juggernaut. Flyback available and he's forced to pop right here. Think TNC. It's all over, man. Casters launches out the Death Ward. MH and Raven both forced back into their fountain, and Mineski will secure themselves a second lane of racks.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
I don't know. I think this has got to be a closeout here. You don't really have the heroes to try and deal with this. If they really want to, TNC can. But Mineski, they can just pull themselves out of here. And they have just completely controlled this game. That massive early lead in terms of the timing. I mean, we were looking at somewhere around the 15-14 minute mark. They were so far ahead. All these Chen ganks.
Raven just got destroyed.
Yeah, that Laguna Blade is something else.
Laguna Blade, Sunstrike, magic, immunity piercing, pure damage, not too shabby. Just wrecked him. Well, TNC still holding on. The BKB from Viper is something they can kind of cling to. Well, Octarine Core for the Invoker though, this is the dream. 33 minutes in and you are 6 slotted. You can, trade out the Midas and the drums for Hex, Shiva's Guard, Refresher, stuff like that. But at this point, you're pretty freaking happy if you get a solo kill on the Sam H relatively easily here. Just needs the Cold Snap, Sunstrike. Sam H actually heals himself up a fair amount with his Necrobooks. Turns to fight. That keeps himself alive with the Chen Mech, actually. That wasn't enough. Raging Potato, though, in with a stun. Lands it with more stun here, though, to save up his teammate to keep the Viper alive. Lion might give up his own life, though, as Raging Potato takes the brunt of the damage. Oh, the Lion! 30 health. But the Invoker's found the Chen on the side with his Alacrity Cold Snap.
Oh, he got him.
Oh, the Lion died in the trees.
Yeah, he was going for the TP, but he threw out that LSA. He's like, I know where you were.
I got ya. No buybacks available for TNC, and Juggernaut dead for 9 seconds. Level 3 Omni Slash is up once he respawns, though. What he can do, but the past 3 Omni Slashes been so underwhelming.
I don't know, it just wasn't your typical TNC draft. There wasn't any sort of a curveball thrown in. Maybe that was part of the strategy, come right at them with a normal looking lineup. But as a team that is often cited as relying on more superior drafting, they just didn't really have it in them this time, I don't think. A little bit too meat and potatoes, it seems.
TNC haven't had a kill 18th minute. TNC haven't had an objective take since the 18th minute. That's tragic. That's super tragic, but kudos to them for staying in the game and trying to drag themselves back in. But our 1 SEA best of 1 is up with Mineski taking it, so they're currently sitting at 7-0 in the WePlay Season 3 C group stage. Bad, huh?
Mineski, man. It's awful to head out to a LAN and have kind of a thing happen to you, but happens to plenty of teams. So don't get down on yourself, Mineski.